announcement to make from the WCW Championship Committee at this time. They have now determined to name one man as the #1 contender to the World Television Championship held by Fit Finlay. And I want to bring him out right now. Let's bring out the #1 contender to the television belt. He is Booker T. Hold on a second here.
Not Booker T, Tony.
Well, obviously. Chris, I'm sorry. That was a decision made by the championship.
With all due respect, Tony, I want to talk to the horse's head. I want to talk to whomever it was that made the final decision on this.
Well, that's the whole championship committee, and I'm only repeating what they told me. That was Booker T. Now listen, I know you're upset. You had a great match at Slamboree, there is no question, but Booker T is the #1 contender to the TV belt.
As I said, Tony, I want to talk to the horse's head right here and right now.
Well, I can't do that, Chris. I'm sorry. I can only... We were calling out Booker T. Well, here he comes. This is not the horse's head as you had called for, but this is the man, the #1 contender to the...
Listen up, Tony. You know, Benoit, let's get something straight right here. You know, I respect you a whole lot, brother. I got the utmost respect for you. All right? But let's get one other thing straight. I'm not scared of you. All right? Now, the committee have made their decision on the #1 contender here in WCW, and that is me. I can live with it. You know, me and you, we done had our matches over and over and over, you know, and that was settled. Now it's my turn. So let me have my interview time, please.
You're the #1 contender. You're going to get what you deserve.
All right, Booker T. Come on, guys.
Tony, what up, Tony?
Oh, my goodness. Come on now.
Tony, don't get in the middle of this.
Wait, take a look at this. Stevie Ray, Booker T's brother.
Together 7 times tag team champions.
Get up, Booker T. Get up, man. Brother. Man, what's wrong with you, man? Man, you gotta fight this guy. You can't lay down for a punk like that. You forgot where you came from? Hey, brother, we're from the streets of Harlem, 110th Street. A punk like that wouldn't last 10 seconds. You letting him hit you in the back of the head, holding your head like a little baby. When somebody do that where we come from, you stuff a mud hole in his butt. Now, can you dig it? Brother, show these people what kind of man you are. Go back there and let's get it on. Let's go.
A long time since we've seen Stevie Ray, and he walks away with his brother Booker T. Wow. Fans, will have more live on Thunder. Do not forget, it will be the Giant and Lex Luger still to come.
See the superstars of WCW Live in action this Tuesday in Memphis, Tennessee at the Mid-South Coliseum. Wednesday in Nashville, Tennessee at the Municipal Auditorium for Thunder. Next Thursday in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Knoxville Coliseum. And June 1st at the MCI Arena in Washington, D.C. for Monday Nitro. Don't miss live WCW action coming soon to a city near you.
You're on the TBS NASCAR circuit with Richard Petty.
Memorial Day weekend. We've got 2 big races at the best track on the circuit. This is the big time.
Live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the CarQuest Auto Parts 300 and the Coca-Cola 600, May 23rd and 24th.
It's the Great American Racing Weekend, and it's only on the Superstation.
For the ultimate race party, check out Food Lion Speed Street, downtown Charlotte, May 21st through the 23rd.
Hi, I'm Bob.
This Friday on Dinner and a Movie. Don't miss Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. And What About Bob? And make baby stepping kebabs with Paul and Annabelle.
I'm doing the work. I'm baby stepping. I'm not a slacker.
This Friday following the Braves game, only on the Superstation.
When you settled your lawsuit, did you agree to monthly payments instead of one big check? Did you know you have a right to change your mind? If you need to pay your debts, buy a home, a car, a truck, you can sell those payments. I tell my clients, to solve your problems, you can always convert some or all of those payments to cash. Just call Stone Street Capital.
We buy future payments from lawsuit settlements in lottery winnings. For a free quote, call Stone Street Capital, 1-800-WHY-WAIT, extension 104.
Nothing on? What are you gonna rent? From Oliver Stone comes a movie about sex.
Come here, I made you all hot and sweaty.
Murder.
Would you kill her? Kill her.
Kill her. Betrayal.
You think you can take the money and dump me?
And everything else that makes life worth living.
You think bad, then bad's what you get.
Sean Penn, Jennifer Lopez, and Nick Nolte. U-Turn. Rent it now.
Want 50% more Shine stuff? Get new Ultra Shine Protectant from Armor All. It's the ultimate shine.
If we're wrong, why don't you arrest us?
Crash it, crash it, crash it.
And Martin said, well, if no one else is going to serve, someone has to do it.
Discover the American story of the civil rights struggle with Eyes on the Prize.
Use your credit card and get no easy walk at no extra charge.
To resort to any means necessary.
Call now for your first video at the special low price of $9.99.
Imagine black people at our most powerful point.
This is what movement meant.
Was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
To order, call 1-800-257-1234. Use your credit card to receive the No Easy Walk video free or send $9.99 plus $3.75 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
A lot of shocking events went down this past Sunday at Slamboree, and then the following day in Providence, Rhode Island at Nitro. But one of the biggest shockers was seeing Scott Hall walk out a member of NWO Hollywood.
And each and every one that's in this building tonight is here because of Hollywood. Because where I go, the money goes. Where I go, the talent in professional wrestling goes. And where I go, the greatness goes. A man that was Kevin Nash's best friend. A man that knew if Kevin Nash would have ever been a leader, he would know. I want to bring out the newest member of my family, Mr. Scott Hall.
Hey, Stinger! Wow. Picture there was a billboard, but what was the reason behind it? We'll never know. We've speculated, we talked about it, but nevertheless, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash together, no more. The Giant and Sting are the World Tag Team Champions. Well, let's not forget that Hollywood Hogan and one of his close associates, Bret the Hitman Hart, will be together as a tag team against the team of Savage and Rowdy Piper as Brian Adams makes his way here for the next match at Thunder. And that brings up an interesting point. You know, guys, we've been seeing some of the face-to-face confrontation that Piper and Savage had Monday on Nitro when Piper reversed the decision from Slamboree. Do you really think, Lee Marshall, that it's safe for Roddy Piper to go in the ring knowing that there's a member of the NWO, be it NWO Wolfpack, Savage as his partner, and two members of the NWO, the other faction on the other side? Very dangerous for him in the Great American Bash.
That has never, ever, ever been an issue with Roddy Piper. First of all, you talk about Savage, exemplified by madness. But I'll answer your question this way, Tony. Roddy Piper can never be confused as the poster boy for logic.
One thing we know about Piper, Brain, he will not back down from a fight.
No.
He and the Macho Man will be a tag team. Can you ever remember 4 bigger names in one gigantic match that we have for the fans of the Great American Bash?
No, 4 stars of this sport. 4 people that are going to the Hall of Fame, no doubt about it. But what Rowdy Piper should do is go back a few years and get some old film or tape of the old TV show and watch that old quiz show. Maybe he can learn something from it. Remember that quiz show with Johnny Carson?
Ah, yes.
Who do you trust?
Who do you trust? They can only go back, really, if you go back now to recall Uncensored, the cage match between Hogan and Savage when Sting came down to help out Savage. Savage wiped Sting out. You know, I know they're NWO Hollywood. I know there's NWO Wolfpack, the red and black and the white and black, but they're still NWO, and I don't know if I trust them, but Piper will go into it at the Great American Bash. By the way, as Hacksaw Jim Duggan is in the ring now to face Bryan Adams, for our fans in Baltimore, tickets available at the Baltimore Arena box office and all Ticketmaster locations. The Great American Bash will be on pay-per-view and will be live in the Baltimore Arena on Sunday night, the 14th of June.
Well, Piper's the kind of a guy, Adam's a big guy, but Piper's the kind of a guy that will go into a pack of wild dogs and throw a frisbee and see if Spot could catch it. This guy don't care.
Not at all, he doesn't. And neither does Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He sends Bryan Adams down seemingly with ease. And Adams a big, strong man. And Duggan's going to run through the gap. Wow, all the way over the top with a running shoulder tackle that time. Sent Adams all the way on the outside. The fans really respond to Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
And remember, guys, no disqualification over the top anymore. You're not going to see any... Oh, right in the stairs. Look out, Vincent. Left hand, that big canned ham left hand. No Hurricane Ranas, Mahi Straw cradles. No high-tech wrestling here. Just 2 guys that are going to duke it out, and so far, Duggan dishing out most of the punishment.
You see the 2x4 looming at the apron of the ring, and into the side headlock goes Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Into the ropes, and Vincent pulled the ropes down that time, and Duggan took a nasty spill on the outside.
And he's down, and Big Adams is coming off the apron.
Well, it gave Adams the opening. One thing you could say about NWO Hollywood, they seem to be a very tight-knit group. When we talked about the split of the NWO at the top, and you've seen what's happened with the Wolfpack now, the Wolfpack really, in many ways, you look at it, they're on the ropes, because when Scott Hall took that step, crossed that line, that was a deafening blow to them.
Absolutely, and let's look at...
Here's a cover.
I don't think Kevin Nash is the kind of guy you want to make mad. I wouldn't want him looking for me.
Duggan fighting his way back. Let's look just at the size of NWO Hollywood. Hogan himself, Bryan Adams, now the Giant. Throw Scott Hall into the mix. They by far the biggest section of WCW or NWO.
Yes, but look at Kevin Nash. Calls himself the Giant, and you got the world's most dangerous wrestler there, Savage. That kind of balances the scales there a bit.
Well, another question we haven't touched on, and we saw it right at the top of the program. Watch out! Oh, my goodness! He feels a referee by his throat.
That's going to cost him.
He just worked for free tonight, but I don't think that matters.
They call for the bell, or at least some of the officials here have called for the bell. This thing has been thrown out. And Bryan Adams kicks the wrong man. Duggan.
Duggan still wants to wrestle.
Yes, he does.
Oh!
He runs right through it. Adams trying to get out of the way, and Duggan through the rope, pounding away on Adams. This match has been thrown out. Duggan is going to be declared the winner. But the fight's not done here. Oh, my goodness. He turned around to a big hand. Big right hand from Bryan Adams.
They've got Duggan's 2x4.
I know the old saying, you hit by the board, you'll get it with the board.
Wow. Oh, he was swinging the referee.
You better get out of there now.
This is what NWO Hollywood's all about. Duggan will get the win. And we're going to have more on an Explosive Thunder after this timeout.
Oh! You can't put a loss in my column.
He's just...
You don't go reversing any decisions on me. I won that match right in the middle of the ring.
This week in WCW Motorsports, brought to you by Valvoline, the makers of Zen Power. Fresh off a big win in the California 500, Mark Martin and the number 6 Ford came to Charlotte for the race known as NASCAR's All-Star Game, the Winston. running incredibly strong in qualifying.
If it works like it did last night, will be awesome.
Martin started the first 30-lap segment on the third row and finished round 1 in third place.
We need to make a little bit of adjustment, but we believe maybe the track will tighten up a little bit. If we do, we might have a race here.
After the lead pack was inverted for segment 2, the number 6 car continued to charge, dominating and winning the second round.
Mark Martin is very strong.
Then, running second on the white flag lap of the 10-lap segment 3 shootout, Mark Martin captured the lead for his first career win in the Winston.
Mark Martin wins his first career Winston.
Lance Hooper and the WCW Motorsports team are hungry to race in the CarQuest 300 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Look for the monster truck known as Sting in the U.S. Hot Rod Association Monster Truck Challenge at Pikes Peak International Raceway. Next week, how Mark Martin in the Valvoline car and Lance Hooper on the WCW car fared racing this weekend at Charlotte. And find out if the truck called Sting conquered Pikes Peak. That's all for this week in WCW Motorsports, brought to you by Valvoline.
You can keep your car looking clean, but you've got to keep your engine clean, too. Newly formulated Valvoline DuraBlend motor oil is a synthetic blend that suspends the dirt, unburned fuel, and water that cause harmful deposits and reduces oil burn-off. DuraBlend protects vital engine parts, so your engine runs cleaner and better longer. It outperforms all leading conventional motor oils because a car can look great. But it's what's inside that counts. Valvoline DuraBlend.
This Memorial Day, the Superstation salutes a different kind of hero. It's the complete story of Rocky Balboa with Rocky 1 through 5. For the first time on TBS, the complete Rocky story, beginning 8:30 Eastern Memorial Day, only on the Superstation.
This month, get hooked on pay-per-view. Someone knows their secret.
Somebody sent this to me.
Someone knows they're scared.
Think he's dead? There was no accident. It was murder.
And someone knows what they did last summer.
I got run over. Julie gets a body in a trunk and you get a letter? That's balanced.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
The wait is over.
I know what you did last summer. Order it on pay-per-view if you know what's good for you.
Share of races, but I didn't do it alone. It takes a great team. And Slick 50 is a part of my team. I'm one of the millions of people who rely on it.
Now there's Slick 50 Synchron synthetic engine treatment with a 100,000-mile limited warranty and pour-and-drive convenience.
It's hard to beat Slick 50. I count on that.
Slick 50 Synchron synthetic, the next generation of engine treatments.
And for peak performance, use Slick 50 Synchron synthetic fuel system treatment.
Ask us, it just tastes better.
The evil Knight Ruber has made his way out. Ruber, of course, a part of Quest for Camelot, the animated movie, the first animated by Warner Brothers. As he comes out and gives the fans some of the Quest for Camelot bags and shirts, we're going to take you to a video clip of Quest for Camelot in theaters everywhere, the first animated feature from Warner Brothers.
In a land where magic was born.
Camelot.
Will knights, wizards, and
dragons
still sing.
if there was only me, oh, what I'd do if I didn't have you.
Where are you going?
Camelot!
You can't leave us here. Let's go. We can't fly. Share the magic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Quest for Camelot. Rated G. Now playing at a theater near you.
And we come back to action here on WCW's Thunder on this Thursday night here on TBS Live. And we want to remind you that WCW Monday Nitro returns to the nation's capital. Actually, I shouldn't say returns, comes to the nation's capital for the first time ever in Washington, D.C. at the MCI Center. But here comes Van Hammer. You understand he has something he's got to say.
Phil Reese, how was the stop sign? Are you too stupid to know?
Now Hammer makes his way out and has something to say to Reese of the flock. But nevertheless, fans, Monday, June 1st, WCW Monday Nitro, the nation's capital, the MCI Center. Tickets are available still for this event, limited number, but get your tickets early at the box office and Ticketmaster. Don't forget Monday, June 8th, WCW Monday Nitro, the Palace box office. That's the Palace of Auburn Hills. We're going to have WCW Monday Nitro tickets at the box office and Ticketmaster. And then we're returning to the Ice Palace in Tampa for Monday Nitro. That's Monday, June 29th. Tickets at the Ice Palace box office and Ticketmaster. And the great news about Nitro is we are back at our regular time beginning next Monday, next week in Evansville, Indiana, in a sold-out event. We're back at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for 3 hours live, Mike, today.
Well, it's about time, Tony, and I guess from this point on, let everyone know that Nitro is going to return to its familiar time slot, as you mentioned, beginning this and each and every Monday to come.
Here's a battle we have seen before, but a battle that just won't die. It's Hammer and Saturn to go one-on-one in this matchup. They met to try to determine who would stay or who would leave the flock. And it ended up that Hammer won the match, but was thrown out of the flock. And now we saw earlier from what Raven said that he and Saturn have not really seen eye to eye over the past couple of months.
Yeah, but I certainly didn't expect to see Raven and Saturn resolve their differences so quickly. I think Raven knows that he needs Saturn in the enforcer's role in the flock.
And I'll tell you one thing, he apologized, and it sounded sincere to me. You know, sincereness is my specialty, and I can tell the man's sincere.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that would be the litmus test, all right.
Yeah, boy, would it ever. Witness test. What's that mean?
Forget it, please. Into the ropes.
I didn't see anything.
Down, ducking low is Saturn. Saturn sends him down. And now kicking Hammer in the back of the head. Saturn and Hammer going at it one-on-one. You saw the flock watching on, and certainly Raven has had an abundance of promos. There's the standing sidekick.
Yeah, take note, Glacier. Regardless of your claims, you don't have exclusivity to that move.
And he knows about it firsthand. He's walked into a couple of them from Saturn coming in the ring. Saturn with a knife-edge chop. Sends Hammer back to the ropes. Ducking low. Kicking the man in the chest. He picks him up. Oh, my!
Such a well-rounded attack from Saturn. He can beat you with his Kempo karate moves, his karate kicks, his submission moves, and that great array of suplexes that he has as well.
And not only that, he's one mean guy.
Mean streak nonetheless. And he said, kind of startling, it really shocked me. Remember, he told Raven, did Saturn, I'm not a member of the flock. I'm not a follower. I'm a friend of yours. So really, based on that, you got to say, yeah, he's not a flock member, but certainly there's a trust and a bond between the two men that runs very, very deep. Into the corner, and Hammer comes out with a great power slam out of the corner.
I don't think growing up as a child, Saturn was spoiled a whole lot, like Raven probably was.
Oh, Raven was spoiled, there's no question. Got too much of it.
Well, you can never get enough.
No, that's what you think. Over the top now goes Hammer. Hammer levels him with an explosive shoulder coming off of the far side ropes. And down goes Saturn hard.
Well, it's obvious Saturn wants to be considered on an even keel now, on the same footing as Raven.
Look at this.
Inverted suplex.
Inverted suplex, and it was nothing but raw power by Hammer that sent Saturn all the way over. Going to pick him up again. Look at, oh my! Oh! Version of the sidewalk slam.
Go for him. I think he might have him.
Well, there's Reese, the big man of the flock who jumped up, and that's exactly what Hammer was talking about. The stop sign, the big man.
Well, the big man Reese felt that stop sign at Slamboree.
Oh, it's Raven.
He even plowed him in the middle of the ring.
And he's gone. In and out.
It was a grand plan What's that? What's Saturn here? He wants to know why.
I don't need your help. Yes, you do.
Though we thought they'd resolved their differences, he just told Raven he didn't need his help, and Raven disagrees.
Oh, don't hurt.
There's the Death Valley driver.
And that is it for Hammer as Saturn wins, but Raven remains at ringside. As a matter of fact, Raven is, I think, either entering the ring. Yes, he's in the ring. Look at him. I don't think Raven wants anything to do with that man.
He wants to make sure he's on his side.
You bet. A long look from Saturn as Raven gets in. Told Raven, he said, I do not need your help. And Raven said, oh, yes, you do. Problems exist from every side for Raven, and most are well-deserved. Your winner is Saturn. Still to come. Luger against the Giant. Stay with us.
Hugh, coming up after Thunder on the Superstation, it's movies for guys who like movies. And tonight's movie is The Perfect Weapon.
That's a martial arts classic, Jimmy. Just like us.
And it's coming up right after Thunder.
Saturday on the Superstation. For Earth, these fighters are our one last chance. Mortal Kombat, Saturday at 10:05 Eastern, exclusively on the Superstation.
Want to make painting easier? Change your roller to a Wagner cordless power roller. There's less mess, less hassle, and less bending over because you control the flow of paint. So you can just keep on rolling. In fact, with the power roller and its accessories, you'll get professional results nearly twice as fast. It even turns cleanup into an easy job. So get a cordless power roller from Wagner and transform every room in your house.
The Iron Man by Huffy. All the strength and endurance of the world's toughest triathlon. It brings out the Iron Man in everyone.
There's nothing like the feeling of a new car. We bought the Armor All Protectant. It shines, it protects. It's new car juice.
Just a closer walk with thee.
Heartland Music invites you to share a special event. The all-new Gospel Collection from Loretta Lynn.
On the wings of a snow white dove.
26 all-time gospel classics.
Will the circle be unbroken?
Let Loretta lift your spirits with her joyful new collection.
In the sweet.
But it's not in stores. Please order now.
Swing low, sweet chariot. Coming for the cat.
Call 1-800-257-1234. To save COD charges, use your credit card or send check or money order for $16.98 for cassettes or $19.98 for 2 CDs, plus $3.50 shipping to Loretta Gospel, P.O. Box 2889, Atlanta, Georgia.
That we've touched on many times. NWO Wolfpack recruited and got Kurt Hennig with the red and the black attack on their side, but we never really heard from Rude. Was he on Hennig's side? Would Rude go maybe to NWO Hollywood, and the man's walking out by himself? And I hope he answers the question, Lee.
You're talking about the music.
We'll have to talk in a minute, Lee.
What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape, Ohio idiots, button your lips, open your eyes, and show some respect for the next United States heavyweight champion, Kurt Hennig. Hit the music.
Wait a second. Did he say the next United States heavyweight champion?
I don't get it. Well, that's what he did say.
Well, hold on here. The United States heavyweight champion right now is not just any man. It's the man who is undefeated. It's Goldberg.
But Tony, you know,